welcome to Tuesday's Market SITREP here at Top Gun Options. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Whiz. And we had a great primary live trade brief this morning. The weekly options live trade brief yesterday had a good Braveheart reference, and in today's primary live trade brief, we got a good Colonel Jessup from A Few Good Men reference, along with legging into an iron condor on ExxonMobil after earnings last week, which were phenomenal. But I still think we're going to channel before we lift off, and also a Brazil, the EWZ, a bear call spread, and an update on the current iron condor, which I'm holding on to here, and also an update on our weekly options trades that we put on yesterday. A bear call spread on SPX, the S&P 500, to 2400, 2405. And if my members didn't get in that one, I said I'd look at the 2405, 2410. A lot going on, folks. Yesterday, the market actually lived an entire week in one day, from the morning pop to the afternoon. I'm done with Trump, guys. The guy's a complete idiot. Saying that he'd be honored to meet with President Kim. He's a smart cookie. I'm not going to get to my rant. You can watch the primary live trade brief rant, but you can check out what I said on our Facebook page. The guy's lost it. And then in the afternoon, he's talking about breaking up big banks. I hated the last king, Trump. Now you're getting very, very close, man. You can't break up big banks. Maybe in the democracy that I live in, we could talk to our congressional representatives in the House or the Senate. Maybe they could pass a law and you could sign it. That's the way it works, dude. In the copy of my Constitution, nowhere does it say that you can do that. I went just as apeshit when Manchurian candidate Obama fired the CEO of GM. Where do you have that authority, man? He's lost it. You don't. And I did the same thing when Obama said he'd meet with President Rouhani of Iran. You don't legitimize a dictator. Grass in North Korea, folks, is a delicacy. People are starving to death. He's killing them. He's a madman with a nuclear missile, and you want to legitimize him by meeting with him. And don't give me, I saw Laura Ingraham last night, and some conservative, dyed-in-the-wool conservatives twist and contort themselves to try and explain, well, maybe it's a great negotiating tactic. He ain't that smart, folks. It's stupid. The only meeting I would have with the North Korean dictator would be, I'd land in Navy One. It wouldn't be Air Force One. I'd meet the guy and say, I wouldn't shake his hand. I'd sit down and go, give me your nukes. And if he said no, I'd say, okay, I'm going to get on Navy One. I'm going to get airborne, and then I'm going to kill you. Hence the Colonel Jessup reference. This guy, he needs to shut up. He needs to go sit in the Oval Office and not talk. Allow the vice president to talk. The guy's, no pun intended, he's pensive, and he's a little more, he's Mike Pence. You got to feel sorry for the vice president, folks. He really is like the guy in the circus in the white suit walking behind the elephants with the shovel. This guy's dropping a lot of that crap all over the place, and I've had it. And when you've lost me, Trump, you're in trouble. Again, yesterday saying, hey, South Korea is going to pay for the THAAD missile defense system. Really? Lieutenant General McMaster's, his national security advisor, had to go out and what the president meant to say was they're not going to pay for it. So we're in a lot of, what's this have to do with trading? Everything, folks. A nuclear war or just even a conventional war with millions dead in the Korean Peninsula will impact the market. So that's what we do here at TGOs. We look at everything strategically, then operationally, and then we get tactical and trade, folks. This week, going into the weekend, this is the other reason I put on some bear call spreads yesterday. By Friday, the market's going to be lower, folks. We're going to sell off in a Friday because the French vote is what? I think on Sunday. Nobody's going to be long going into the weekend where the female European Trump could win. We're going to see a lot of volatility going in towards the end of the week. We talked about the macroeconomic data sucking here in the United States. It's funny, when good macroeconomic data come out, Trump's all over the place. When the GDP came out on Friday, sucking because the consumer is dropping dead. Not a word from the guy. So I guess he only, coaches win games, right? And players lose games. He's the exact opposite of a leader, in my opinion. Yesterday, personal spending growth stagnated. 7-month highs. Well, Whiz, the savings rate being high is good, isn't it? It's awful. Folks, if people are putting their money in a Folgers can and burying it in the yard, and yes, I'm old enough to know what a Folgers can is, never drank it, that's a bad thing. They're not spending it on the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip or putting it into the economy. I've also had it with Trump because the front page of the Drudge report had hey, Democrats celebrate the Republican budget. You know why? Because he gave away the store to try and get what? He's trying to get health care passed this week, and it's embarrassment. He jettisoned the wall already. Huge, going to build a huge wall. Gone. China gonna label a currency manipulator day one. Didn't. Now I get he's kind of using that for help on North Korea, man, but this guy is full. I don't know, man. So we have a spending bill now that Democrats love. Tell me how that's good for the country. Okay, he bought off Chuck Schumer. He's buying off Democrats. And for a guy who in an interview the other day, remember Obamacare passed? Remember the Nebraska senator? He was a Democrat. He was the last holdout. He wasn't going to vote for it, and Obama gave him, I think, literally the world for Nebraska. And Trump was ripping that apart the other day in an interview. He's like, Obama bought this senator off, and that's how he got Obamacare passed. What the hell are you doing? You're doing the same thing to get Obamacare repealed? You're buying off Democrats, dude. You're a hypocrite. And I can't stand hypocrites. And the best part about people who operate on double standards is they're always on the right side, and they're never wrong. You're wrong, Donald. So, and I'm hearing reports and talking to my buddies in the hedge fund world down in D.C. that he might not even get it this week. Third time's the charm. So he might not even get it tomorrow. And seriously, Donald Trump gambles on big healthcare victory. He gambled twice already, and he failed. So the third time, Wall Street Journal, come on, man. Stop being the dyed-in-the-wool Republican thing. All right, now let's talk about trading. Folks, sit up in your chair if you've been mentally clubbing in the Bahamas for the last 5 minutes. The volatility index below 10 is nuts. Everything I just briefed you on, and remember, folks, anything going on in North Korea, fast forward 3 hours, that's Iran. Iran and North Korea have military exchanges. All the missile technology North Korea has, it's going to Iran if it's not already there. Iran has been eerily quiet because they're waiting to see what Trump does with North Korea. North Korea is allowed to keep their nukes. Iran's next, folks. And a nuclear-armed Iran, yeah. Their first stated mission objective when they get nukes, they've said this repeatedly, is to wipe Israel off the face of the earth. So, folks, a VIX below 10 with everything that's going on is stupid. It is time to put on a bullish double vertical on VXX or whatever the hell you use to get long vol, because this is dumb. A VIX below 10 means there is nothing wrong with this world. There's no volatility, and to an options trader, to a fighter pilot like myself and an options trader, we always look at what could go wrong first, so when it doesn't, we're pleasantly surprised. Now, my call sign could be Eeyore, but that's the... If we got airborne on every mission in the Hornet and said, my God, we're brilliant, there's no way we're going to get killed, we're all going to get killed. So a VIX below 10 means that everything's great, and it isn't. So you got to get long vol, folks. If you don't know how to do that, you need to become a member here. We got the jobs report on Friday as well, so that could impact. We got a Fed meeting tomorrow. I think they're going to keep rates steady. Bernanke, not big on this guy. He's the reason this market is this high with his quantitative easing. 1, 2, 3, Operation Twist, Operation whatever else. Him printing $85 billion a month out of his town car did nothing but make the evil 1% eviler or richer. I'll take the richer part. I didn't get eviler, but he even said, he's like, this 3% GDP growth that Trump promised, it ain't happening. I believe him over Trump. And that not happening, the market's going to wake up and go, man. Apple earnings after the close, $250 billion. This is one of the things that pissed me off last week about the tax. Huge. Next week, huge tax plan. Going to be great. Huge. Terrific. Wednesday, Khan and Mnuchin got up, the mousy Mnuchin, and gave us a one-page brief for 19 minutes and walked off the stage after 2 questions. That was it. They didn't even cover how this $250 billion that Apple has in cash sitting, I think, in County Cork, Ireland, like in a pub somewhere. Can they bring that back? What rate? When? No specifics. So, guys, and Goldman, the Death Star. Goldman warns the gap between stock investors' hopes, a rally built on hope, ends, folks, and reality is close to an all-time high. And if Goldman Sachs is saying this, they're trading appropriately. Put on an Exxon Mobil Iron Condor, like I said today. Oil's below 48. But that's not necessarily super bad because, like I covered in my primary life trade brief, Exxon, Chevron, these guys have really trimmed their sails, man. They trim people, they trim their cost structures. They're trimmed for about $35-ish a barrel of oil. So if the wind blows better than that, up here at 48 to 50, they print money. I was right. Exxon earnings were blowout, and you need to put on a Jan 19 long call diagonal with a protective put. You don't know how to do that, you need to join up here. But folks, we're gonna wallow around here, man. We are in a very precarious position. Looks like 2400 is going to be some resistance here. And you ready for this blinding piece of Tuesday intelligence? This thing's either going to go up or it's going to go down to the 50-day or below, kind of like we did here. We were kind of wallowing around here and then through it. Yay, Le Pen didn't win, and all sorts of other stupid stuff, tax plan and healthcare, and none of it happened. Now the market's really just hanging out going, hey man, we need to see something to go up. And we're halfway to 3/4 of the way through earnings season, and it's just, we're out of airspeed, guys. We're out of airspeed. Okay, Miami event, just over a month away, June 9th and 10th down at the Marriott Marquis in Miami. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/Miami-event. It's going to be a blast, folks. The early bird pricing is on this page. Go grab it. I see that 2 of my members just grabbed slots today. It's going to be a blast. We'll have dinner together. We'll laugh. We'll cry. It's better than cats. I'd see it again and again. Remember, Full Throttle, folks. You have Full Throttle training at 7 o'clock tonight. We're going to do an Options House platform demo. And if you're not a member of Full Throttle, I'm going to open up tonight's session to everybody so you can see the platform demo, okay? And check your email for the link to register for tonight's Full Throttle session. All right, I got to run, folks. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. I'll be back with Wednesday's market SITREP tomorrow. God bless, and I'll talk to you guys later. We'll see.